how do you do it? When your friends go, how you not working? How'd you? My daughter got in a wreck and broke her arm. I took the money.
Welcome to another episode of True Stories from a Real Private Eye. I'm your host, Vinnie Coppola. With me, as always, is Lynn Lambdin, a real private investigator right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you so much for being here. This is our 50th episode. For those of you who've been with us from the beginning, thank you so much. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, thank you so much for giving us a shot. We do appreciate it, and we are so glad you are here. Lynn, what do you got for us this week?
Well, Vinny, how you doing this week, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good, buddy. Once again, can't complain. And even if I could, which I can, I'm not. They don't care, and I don't blame you guys. They're here for some stories, man. Let's give one to them.
Well, Vinny, you know how that this podcast is growing.
Yeah,
we're still here.
Yeah, we're still here. Exactly. Yeah.
If it wasn't growing, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, we would have said a long time ago. Well, it was fun while it lasted, but as long as you guys keep showing up, we're going to keep doing it because we have so much fun. And you know what? I learn something new every week, and I love that. So,
Well, Vinny, I don't know if you'll learn anything this week or not, but I hope so.
Okay.
So this week, I guess we'll talk about inheritance, Vinny, an inheritance case. I've worked on two or three, I guess, 3 or 4 inheritance cases, but this particular one kind of intrigued me.
Okay.
I got a call one day. Actually, it started out, a friend called me, and not really a friend, but an acquaintance called me and said, I need to talk to you. Said, I got a friend of mine who's needing some help on a case. Said their father passed, and said it's kind of complicated, but they're trying to kick my friend out of the inheritance. And it was a pretty substantial inheritance. They were
just trying to kick him out of the inheritance.
The siblings.
The siblings were trying to kick another sibling out of the inheritance.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Huh. Okay. All right. I'm intrigued.
Already intrigued, aren't you?
Yeah.
So they had an attorney on the case. So, so they brought me in on the case, and
so are you working for the sibling getting kicked out, or
I'm working for the sibling getting kicked out? Okay. It was kind of a kicky.
Yeah, right.
They were 4 different attorneys, but 4 different
lawsuits.
Yeah, they were 4 different. They had divided into 4. They were 9 children. Wow. No, they were 11 children.
Wow. With
3 different women. And they were they were 4 women, 4 wives. And so they had divided into 4 different camps. And so each wife, so this one woman had only had 1 child, and they were trying to kick her out and say that she wasn't really a child, that she was a stepchild, so she didn't get any of the inheritance.
They were trying to kick the child of one of the wives of a sibling.
Yes. Because she wasn't really a wife. They were never married.
Ah.
But she was still a natural born child.
Right.
Doesn't matter if you're, it doesn't matter if you're married or not. She was still a natural born child. You don't have to be married to the mother in order to be a natural born child.
Yeah. Now let me ask you something. The sibling that had the kid with this woman, was this sibling the black sheep of the family?
No. She was actually probably the best child out of the bunch.
Oh, so wait. I thought it was the wife. I mean, the sibling married a woman who had a child, right?
No. So the father had 4 wives
I thought we were talking about siblings here. Okay, gotcha.
The the
I
the
got you now. Okay,
the father had four wives,
right.
and the wives had all the four women that he had children with had all passed.
Okay, but they
Or
were
I'm sorry,
kids.
they hadn't passed. They were still living,
Right,
but they're not entitled to anything because they are not blood,
right,
and he wasn't married to any of them,
right,
so they're not entitled to anything.
right. I
So
got you.
so his bloodline is the only ones that are entitled to anything when he died.
Gotcha. Okay.
So they were 11 children, and they were a little over $1 million in assets, cash and assets. So once that everything had been sold off and the house and everything had been sold off, they were a little over $1 million to be split.
Out of
So
11, out of 11 kids,
out of 11 kids, and
minus one if they got their way.
minus, well, they were all, since they had split into four camps, they were trying to get rid of everybody. They were saying, you don't get anything, you don't get anything, you don't get anything, you don't get anything.
Gotcha. Okay.
But out of the one that I was working with, they were trying to say, you're not even a child. You're not his child.
Yeah.
You was just a bastard stepchild that he was living with your mother,
Yeah.
and your mother had an affair and didn't. You're not even a child.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all I suggested is getting a DNA. So really, this child wasn't even. I mean, they were all half siblings. Every one of them were just half siblings.
Right.
So it got really nasty.
Yeah, I bet.
And I mean, threats were made.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I told me and the attorney both said, don't worry about it. DNA will prove that you're and I that you're his child. I said DNA, and she was the second oldest.
Right.
She was the second oldest, and she had a relationship with three of the, including the oldest, and two of the children who followed her. And she didn't have a relationship with the others because they lived in other states, and she didn't have a relationship with her. This one lived in Georgia. I mean, the ones that she had a relationship lived with in Georgia. So her and the older ones,
the ones that she had a relationship with, were they still trying to get, tell her that you're not do anything?
Oh yeah,
unbelievable.
Oh yeah, money split them. Vinnie, money split them. Oh yeah, and it wasn't like they were teenagers.
Right.
We're talking about people that were in their 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
And these people had relationships. She had relationships with the older sibling and two of the younger siblings that she will never speak to again.
Right, I bet. Yeah.
I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
Over not even $100,000.
Right.
After attorney fees and everything that was involved, and after they done DNA testing that was paid for out of the money and everything, they only walked with about $75,000 a piece.
Right.
I mean, are you willing to give up
a relationship over 75,000?
Just don't seem worth it, does it?
No, it just seems kind of low class too.
Seems kind of low class. And the sad part about it is the lady that I was working with kept saying to the three that she was the closest to, she knew the others, and she kept talking to the others, and she kept saying, let's not divide the family over the money.
Right.
And they would say to her, well, then just walk away.
Yeah.
Just walk away, and we can remain communicating and be friends, and nothing can change. Just walk away.
Yeah.
And she kept saying, no, I'm his child.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they said, well, we're never going to talk again if you force the DNA test.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah.
And she said, well, I'm going to force the DNA test.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she said, out of principle, she goes, because he was my father.
This episode is brought to you by Simple Funding LLC. For all of your pre-settlement funding needs, contact Simple Funding LLC to receive your money promptly. They're a customer-centric legal funding company that provides exceptional funding solutions at affordable rates. Simple Funding covers a diverse range of cases, including car accidents, slip and falls, worker compensation, medical malpractice, wrongful death, and more. They recognize that life goes on and you need to access your funds immediately, which is why they offer clients a swift and efficient process with minimal documentation requirements. For more information, visit simplefundingllc.com or contact them directly at 678-855-6232.
And she said, it's not like he raised me.
Yeah.
She said, after I was 6 years old, he walked out and married another woman and never talked to him again.
Yeah.
It's not like he was, he would come back every 3 or 4 years and say hello in passing, and he would call me every third or fourth birthday. But it's not like he was in my life. It's not like he raised me. It's not like I'm trying to take your father.
Yeah. Yeah.
He treated me the way he treated the rest of the children. It's not like he was the dad of the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she forced the DNA test, but if she wouldn't have forced it, the others were forcing it.
Right.
Because they all went into their own camps and they were all going, it's like, no, we're getting the money. No, we're getting the money. No, we're getting the money.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like she wanted all the money. She just said, look, just, cut me my 11%.
Yeah.
I'm
now,
one of 11.
How was the one of the camps actually threatening to do a DNA test? Hey, just walk away. Just walk away, or we're going to get that DNA test. Or were they saying, hey, don't get the DNA test, just walk away?
Well, two of the camps were saying,
if you want to be friends, if you want to remain a family, you need to walk away and don't get the DNA test.
The two younger siblings that she was in communication with regularly all the time were telling her, look, don't force the DNA test and nothing will change. But if you force this DNA test, we're going to...
because they knew that the DNA test was going to come out that she's definitely a daughter and she's owed money.
Yeah, but the older sibling was like, man, that she's your sibling, that she's dad's child too.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this?
Just suck it up. It's
Yeah. And then one of the other camps was saying, well, the older girl is not dad's child either, so we're going to force a DNA test on her regardless.
Yeah.
So they were just they were just fighting over the money.
Doesn't the government also take a portion of inheritance?
They do. If it's over like 600,000, I think they take a portion.
It's got to be over 600,000.
I think it's over 600,000. I didn't.
$75,000. They didn't have to pay the government anything.
I don't know. I think if you're a state, I think if the estate is over 600,000.
Yeah.
I don't think it depends on how it's divided up. I think at the time of your death, if your estate is over 600,000, they get a portion.
Okay, so the government definitely got their share.
Yeah,
because you said it was like over $1 million.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. But I'm not sure how it happened. I know that our client walked away with something like 74,000.
And change.
But it took a year and a half to settle it, Vinnie.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Took a year and a half. I mean, think about that. Think about that. I'm not going to fight with my siblings over, I mean, it's just not worth it.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's just not, especially arguing over, he's not your dad? Yes, he is. No, he's not. Yes, he is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's what I'd do. I'd force the DNA test, and I would keep it tied up in court until every dime was gone, and then I'd walk away.
Yeah. Now nobody gets nothing.
Exactly. Yeah. I say, there you go.
That's what you get for playing this game. That's what you get for playing this game.
Yeah. What do you think now?
Yeah. Yeah.
It just doesn't seem. You know, I mean, why fight like that over a few dollars?
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
You can go out and earn money instead of laying around doing nothing and fighting for it. And here's the sad part, Vinny. My client that I was working with, um, she had a job, worked every day, but most of the other siblings didn't have nothing, didn't have a pot to piss in, as they say, or a hope of, or what is it that didn't have two dimes to rub together, or a hope of getting one.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And probably once they got their money, they blew through it quicker than, probably didn't have it 2 weeks.
I guarantee it.
And if they would have got her money, wouldn't have lasted her any longer.
Well, you know what, buddy? A year. What do you say? It took a year and a half? A year and a half for everything to come out of court and all that stuff and get settled? Yeah. That is, it's a long time. But some of these cases, not that long. Some of these cases, they take years.
Yep.
Years,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's $1 million or so tied up, and these families are fiending for this money and they can't get at it because, all this arguing and all this legal stuff.
Vinny, I'm working on a case right now where there's this 15-year-old kid, 16-year-old kid was in a car wreck, broke their arm. There's a very good policy, $250,000 policy on the case. And the mother is trying in the state of Georgia, if the child is under the age of 18, in the case, it used to be 15,000. They just raised it to 50,000. If the child gets a settlement over 50,000, it has to go into escrow and has to be put into escrow until the child turns 18, and the parents can't touch it. Well, this parent is trying every way in the world to get the money before the kid turns 18 to spend it.
Oh my God.
And
what a low life.
Yeah, well, they first said that they needed the money to pay rent.
Yeah.
Well, my question to the parent is, well, how was you going to pay rent if the kid didn't? If the kid wouldn't have gotten a car wreck, how would you have paid rent?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
And now they're saying, well, they have to have the money to pay the lights bills because their lights are going to be turned off.
Right.
Well, how would you have paid the light bill if the kid didn't get in a wreck?
Yeah. You know what this sounds like? This sounds like that case where that woman quit her job.
Yeah.
Because she thought she was going to get $1 million settlement.
Yeah. Well, this woman quit her job. And I asked the woman, I says, how would you have paid the bills? She says, well, I had to quit to take care of the kid. Or I had to quit work to take care of the kids, is what she said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why? You didn't have to quit before the car wreck.
Yeah.
And that the girl's 16 years old, and she only broke her arm. That only requires a cast.
Yeah.
And the kid still goes to school.
Right.
So why did you quit your job?
Yeah. Thought she was going to get a big payday.
Yeah, and when she found out that it had to go into an escrow account controlled by the courts, and the judge is the only one who can release the money until the kid turns 18, and it goes into the kid's hands, and when the judge releases it to the kid, boy, it made the mother mad.
Yeah, I bet.
How does money is the root of all evil, Vinny?
It is, man. It is.
And I couldn't do that to a child.
Me neither, man.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't say, I know that it's your injury, your pain, your suffering, but I'm going to take that money from you.
I'm going to take that money. I'm going to quit my job, and we're going to live on Easy Street for a fucking 6 months. Yeah. Because it's not going to last long.
No, I just couldn't do it. How do you live with yourself? Do you not have a conscience?
These people, buddy, they crack me up, man.
How do you do it, Vinny?
Yeah.
How do you do it?
Yeah. Yeah.
When your friends go, how you not working? How'd you? My daughter got in a wreck and broke her arm. I took the money.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
How do you go in front of a judge and tell the judge, Your Honor, I need money to pay the bills? You know, the judges, they may not be the smartest people in the world, but they've seen people like you.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're going to ask those questions.
Yeah.
You're going to have to answer those questions.
This episode is brought to you by the Accident Attorneys of Monge and Associates, voted the best law firm by the American Institute of Trial Lawyers. When life hits you hard with a serious injury, don't let insurance companies hit you harder with lowball offers and endless runaround. You deserve justice. You deserve compensation. You deserve to win. The Accident Attorneys of Monge and Associates have a high-powered legal team with a nationwide reach and the highest rating on the National Attorney Rating Service. Trial Magazine calls them one of the most influential law firms in America. They win big. Big results at trial court, appeals court, the state Supreme Court, and are recognized as award-winning litigators of the year. The Accident Attorneys of Monge and Associates handle everything so you can heal. Don't face this battle alone. The aftermath of an accident is traumatic enough. Medical bills pile up, pain overwhelms, emotions run high, and that's where they step in to shoulder the legal fight while you focus on what truly matters, your recovery. They are the first law firm to offer a bigger settlement guarantee. If they can't beat the amount of your current settlement with a bigger settlement offer, your legal fees are free. Ready to win your case? Find out in one phone call if you have a case and how much your case is really worth. Call the Accident Attorneys of Monge and Associates today at 1-888-477-0597 or visit them online at becauseyouwanttowin.com.
I tell you, I seen a case, I don't know, 7, 8, 10 years ago. Same thing. A kid got hurt. They were going to put the money into an account for the kid, and the mother was going to go in front of the judge and tell the judge that they needed the money to pay the bills, the rent, the light bills. And the judge says, and this was a young kid. This was like a 9-year-old child. And the judge says, well, why do you need the money to pay rent? And they said, well, because and this was like a $25,000 settlement. And this was when it was $15,000, not $50,000. And the judge says, well, how did you pay rent before? And they said, well, I had a job, but I quit when the kid got in a wreck. And the judge says, well, wasn't you in the wreck with the kid? And she said, yes. She goes, what'd you do with your money? She said, well, I spent it. And he goes, now you want the kid's money? And the judge says, what'd you buy? And they said all these things that didn't have anything to do with paying bills or anything. And the judge goes, well, since you're going to lose your apartment and you're getting evicted, they says, well, I'm going to call in DFACS to provide a place for the kids. And we're going to take custody of the kids until you get a steady home to live in.
Good.
I thought it was the best decision.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the mother got mad and said, but we have the money. You won't let me have it.
Yeah.
And the judge says, no, the kid has the money. But the kid's only 9.
Yeah.
When you get a job and you get stable, we'll put the kid back in your home.
Yeah.
That's what DFACS is for.
Yeah, exactly.
But the kids aren't going to live on the street.
Yeah.
And I thought that was the best decision.
Oh yeah.
You know, if you're going to take my tax dollars to provide for somebody, I think that's the best decision for my tax dollars, you know, for that, not for some, you know, let her live on the street.
Yeah.
You know, that's the best, you know, don't take my tax dollars to pay her rent. Let her live on the street.
Yeah.
When she gets a job or the kid's father gets a job, then, you know, then we'll put the kid back in your home.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
Totally ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, that reminds me of when we lived in Los Angeles and Sonny was born. He's 2 weeks old. 2 weeks old. And my agent calls me up and goes, hey, this audition came across my desk. They're looking for a newborn. He goes, "Can I submit Sonny?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." So she submits Sonny, and he winds up getting the commercial. It was a national commercial for General Electric. So when you have a kid and he's going to be paid, because they were going to pay him to be in this commercial, you have to open up what's known as, I think it's called a Coogan account or something like that. And basically a portion of that money goes into that Coogan account, and that's to protect your child from you.
Yeah.
So you can't touch that money because that's his money. But as parents, you get a portion of it. Like you cash the check, and I think we got like $300. It was a lot of money. It was like he made $780 for the day. My 2-week-old son made $780 fucking dollars. Not to mention what he would have got for residuals, but that's a whole other story. $780. I think we got like what, 300 of it, because we're the parents and we have to take care of the kid. So we're allowed a portion of the money, but that money goes into that Coogan account and it can't be touched until the kid's 18. So Sonny has this money still in this account in Los Angeles collecting interest. An interesting side note, at the time that Sonny booked this national commercial and made $780, he made 3, 4, 5 times more in one booking than I ever made as an actor up until that point.
So does a portion of those residuals go into the account?
The portion of what residual? They would have, but the production company screwed us or made a mistake, and they wound up paying the residuals to the other. See, when a company hires a newborn, they have to hire 2 babies, because 1, newborns are very difficult to deal with. 2, all kinds of laws about having a newborn on set and stuff like that. So like Sonny went in to do the filming, then he was done, and then they brought this other baby in and did more filming. They wound up using Sonny, but they wound up paying the other baby's parents. And that was a whole other thing that we got involved with, and they just wouldn't settle it. And that's because I approached it the wrong way. I think I wanted them to say, "Hey, this is my son. This is my son. This is my son." Okay. And they said, well, after all the research and everything, they said, "Oh, we can't prove that's your son." Here's how I should have approached that. Prove to me this is not my son. Because we sent pictures and video. It was the exact same baby. It was the exact same images that was in the commercial. So I should have went with, "Hey, prove that this is not my son."
Yeah.
Because there was that anyway. But that, getting off track here, that is a law in California. I don't know when it was started. I don't know what child actor, what lawsuit started that case, but yeah, that's to protect the kid from the parents. Yeah. As you're talking about, like them trying to get that money, which I would never, ever do. And,
yeah,
there's been a few times I'm like, oh man, how am I going to pay the electric bill this month? Well, Sonny's got some money in the I've never even considered it. Never. Not one time, not once.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't do it either.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's unbelievable. I had a case where.
Hey, you know what? For fun, Lynn, sorry to interrupt you. For fun, I'm going to look for the link to the commercial. I think it's still on the internet. It's a General Electric commercial. I'm going to look for the link, and if I can find it, I'm going to put it in the comments so you guys can see my boy, 2 weeks old, in this commercial for General Electric. Yeah, it's a very touching commercial. It's really, really, it really turned out good. They just screwed us, or just made a mistake. But what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
But I had a case working with a client that had a kid that was injured in an accident. And when the parent found out that they was not going to get the money for the child. Well, there's actually 3 children in the accident. And when the parent found out they wasn't going to get the money, they fired the law firm. Because they said, well, if I'm not going to get the money, if the money has to go into an account, into an escrow account until my child turns 18, till my children turns 18, why am I pursuing this? They said, I'm not going to take my children to the doctor to be treated and let the money set into an account until they turn 18.
So if they can't get their hands on it, they don't even want it.
No,
the kid.
No, they said, I'm not even going to fool with it. So they fired the attorney and wouldn't even take the kids to the doctor.
Ugh.
That's a true story, Vinnie. Fired the attorney when they found out that the money was going to go into an escrow account to be held until their children turned 18.
Some people just, they should not be parents. They just...
Some people should be taken out and killed.
Yeah. Yep. Taken in the back and have their organs harvested for productive human beings in this society.
Yep.
You know,
they fired the attorney. They said, I'm not even going to fool with it. I'm not even going to take them to the doctor and waste my time if I don't get the money. And they were mad. They were angry.
Yeah.
And they actually didn't fire us immediately. They actually done their research to find out if I was telling them the truth or not. And when they found out I was telling them the truth, they fired the attorney. They went and called other law firms and looked it up. And this was back when it was $15,000, and their kids were hurt, not just a little bit. I mean, it wasn't like they were going to get a little settlement. They were going to get nice settlements.
Yeah. But they couldn't get their hands on it, so they didn't want it.
So they didn't want it.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And there was ways they could have got the money.
Yeah.
I mean, if they get a settlement of $25,000, the attorney takes their portion. You pay the doctor bills. That brings their portion below $15,000.
Right.
Then the parents get it. But I wasn't going to tell them that.
Right.
Because I don't think it's right for the parents to take that money and spend it.
No, not at all.
I think it should go into an escrow account. I don't care if it's $10.
Yeah.
I think the kids should get that money.
Right.
I think it should only go to the children.
Yeah.
I mean, that's only the right thing.
Yeah.
Sad world we live in, Vinnie.
Yeah. But some people just definitely shouldn't be breathing the oxygen of others.
Some people should not be allowed to breathe the oxygen.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. We need to take their organs, give them to people who are going to be productive. Yeah.
Or at least have a conscience.
Yeah. Hey, if you need a good laugh after all that, check me out online. If you like goofy videos and stand-up comedy, all my links to all my social media can be found on my website. It's www.vinnie.com. If you're looking for someone, if you need to surveil someone, if you need to serve someone papers, ladies and gentlemen, Lynn Lambdin is the best. Give him a call. Look him up on his website. Tell him your website, Lynn.
www.lwis.com.
And thank you, Simple Funding and the Accident Attorneys of Monge and Associates for once again sponsoring this episode. If you need their services, give them a call. Let them know you heard about them right here on the podcast. The 50th case is in the books, Lynn. We did it. And we're going to keep going, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you next week.